All right, folks. So I'm back at it with you. I wanted to talk about some of the challenges we face when making positive life changes and habits. And this is something that came up in the survey. It was really important to me to hear directly from all of you what it is that you find to be the most challenging. And now I know what I find challenging, but I know it can differ for a lot of folks. So this is what some of the amazing feedback that I got. And you're going to probably hear some things you can relate to. And I'm going to address a couple of these topics right now and then give you the sense that, I think 90% of these will also be answered as you go through the course with me in the 5 weeks because, it takes time to unpack some of this stuff. So it's not going to necessarily happen in this 5-minute video. Finding time for myself and for self-care. Huge, okay? How do you find time for yourself? This whole course is this idea that, we know that you have something bigger to give. This year is going to be, is you want to be showing up in a different way. Now, that's going to have to start with caring for yourself differently and giving yourself time. So that is 100% the heart of the course, is creating space in your life and feeling better and being better and knowing how to best rejuvenate and restore yourself so that you can be of service. And one of my favorite sayings, which really I talk a lot about in week 4, is radical self-care for radical service. So, self-care is not just this I'm just going to be extravagant and go to the spa all the time. It's this very practical, everyday, I have to be at my best for the people that need me. And who needs me on my A game today? It's my kids, my husband, my work, my clients, my community. It's whoever it is that for you know that you want to give more in those different areas. So in order to do that, you can't just continue on the burnout path of giving. We have to start with the self-care. So week 4 of the course, entirely learning how to say no properly, embracing a better yes or a best yes. And then one of the other responses, I'm just going to go through these because these are all just so good and so on point for the course. So another person's challenge, this brought up committing to the long-term view and accountability. So, you might have all this January inspiration to change all these things, and then by February 3rd or 10th or, 20th, it's kind of going by the wayside, and you're like, what happened? Why does my life just feel like it's the same? So that's where the accountability comes in. I mean, I think we all know this stuff, but it's how to fit it into our busy lives. So creating time for myself amidst kids and family life. This is a great mom's perspective. How do I protect those practices that make me feel at my best? Fatigue is a huge challenge that someone else mentioned. Of course, for many people, it's I want to do this. I want to write the book. I want to compose this piece if you're a musician, or even just I want to go for a promotion, but I'm tired and I don't feel like I have it in me to push the next extra mile for this. Getting bored of routine, finding good habits. I actually can relate to that a lot. I used to think that if being successful and having good habits meant that I just had to do the same thing all the time and I would be bored by it. And I loved my lifestyle of spontaneity, shall we say, which also involved sometimes flaking out on my friends or forgetting important things for the kids, or there's a lot of things that can come with having a loosey-goosey lifestyle. So that was me a few years ago, I'm not gonna lie. And I think we're gonna just emphasize with that the values of rituals and reframe it as rituals and positive things. Your day is gonna feel really free. It's gonna have a ton of freedom. That's huge for me. Time freedom is super important for me. The feeling that I'm making, really intentionally choosing how to spend my days. But underlying that, in order to have that, you're going to have the routines and rituals. So we're going to find that balance for sure. And then this is another challenge that sometimes people just feel I just don't even have time for that productivity course, or to read that book, or to do that thing that's gonna, help me. I know it's there, it's sitting there, and it could help me, but I'm feeling just too busy. So that is gonna be huge because I'm trying to bring the meat of some of these books and consolidate it and pack it in for you. And I think that you're gonna get a lot of value without having to pursue your own path. It's all gonna be kind of here, cut and dried for you, and then whatever you're inspired by, you take off with and run with. Another challenge that a lot of people face, clarity of project, what am I really passionate about? I'm passionate about a bunch of things. You can ask me on any given day. Clarity of moving forward, overcoming resistance. Like someone literally just said an entire, mindset piece of the course, overcoming resistance, and talking about the War of Art, which is one of the most important books that I think will change your life. If you're even considering this course, just that book alone is going to be huge, and I'm going to be passing it to you in like very fun little nuggets every day so that you're getting fed. And letting the urgencies of daily life get in the way, distractions, losing focus. It makes sense for anything that we're doing. It ties into resistance. You can say, oh, I know that this is what I want to accomplish in the next 6 months, or, but we also in the back of our mind are like, but I might get distracted. I might have like things that feel urgent just keep coming up, and every day feels like, oh, I didn't get to it today. So this course is just going to help clear out some of those excuses, I guess, because creating space and looking at your life in a very clear-headed way that we do in week 3, there's kind of no way around it. Like, you're either going to face the reality of, I either have time for this and I prioritize differently, or I don't. And I think that that also just answers a lot of the questions, the challenges people said. Motivation, time, sheer laziness, consistency and attention, making the hard choice every day, keeping goals in front of us, I think that, okay, if you state your goals out to me at the beginning of 5 weeks and to yourself, and you have a group that's here that is waiting for you to make these come true, it's going to change your perspective on it. And for me, accountability has always been huge, as I've said. Accountability through team, through the work that I do with team, through my mentors, like always having someone that's got your back, that's challenging you. And that's what this course is also going to offer in a very easy way. So getting through the first week, someone said the biggest challenge, it's true. If you can complete the first 5 days of the course, you probably have got it made. And that's where we're just going to try and keep it short, snappy, fun, inspiring, and hopefully you'll start seeing and feeling the results immediately from like day 2. That's my commitment to you. Again, another challenge, short attention span, distractions, feeling overwhelmed when a task seems too big. Like, you guys, this is so good because this is all just real. This is real, the real stuff of, we want to do something else with, to take on something else. We want to make an impact in a different way, but we feel these things and we try to figure out, well, how much of this is a real challenge, like something that should make me pause and say, okay, this isn't the right moment, or how much of this is just my mind playing games with me and keeping me from, actually taking that step. So that's where understanding how resistance works in our life, and especially when it comes to, moving forward in positive ways, your coach, me, and your perspective on resistance are going to be huge for navigating that with you. And you'll be able to say, okay, what are the real obstacles? Let's take away all the fake obstacles or the self-imposed obstacles, and then find out what are your real obstacles for that exciting project or starting a business or whatever it is that, you feel this is the year for. So again, amazing stuff in here. Lack of willpower, consistency, unable to see things through. I think 5 weeks is a great chunk of time that you can start saying, okay, I'm building up habits and I am committed to making those big changes, and then sticking with them and checking in with your coach over a few months. But you already have we've built like these wheels. We've built this engine of momentum, and that is pretty much probably just going to make you unstoppable. That's my hope for you. And it's something that I experience when I take time to clear out the stuff that's stopping me, focus in, why do I want this, go after it with intention versus just a long checklist or even breaking down a scary goal, but not really knowing like why, how is my life going to really feel different? Like, what is that going to look like? We have to start up there at wherever it is that you've accomplished it and feel how life feels, experience that, envision it, create a bunch of visuals, and then you're basically manifesting it through saying, okay, well, as long as my intention is over here and it's all these positive things, then that energy is going to push me forward even if the process changes and like along the way things turn out differently than I had expected, at least you have all those tools. So I hope this has been helpful, and again, amazing feedback. You guys are so great, and I think this course is going to just bring us all together in amazing, fun new ways, and I can't wait to see some of the cool things that come out of it for all of you.